So the question today is, how much does a parent own their own child, or how much should they own? So giving birth to another human being has to be the most magical or unique experience in the entire world. It's like nature has allowed you to be God for a while. You can create new life. Like if you hadn't done what you did, this human would not have existed. So naturally you go, it's my child, it's mine. And with that has to come some level of ownership. Like, I own this little human, at least temporarily. How could you not feel that way? Ownership on your child can be a naturally occurring belief, but it can lead to a lot of problems, some very serious ones. With ownership comes a lot of entitlement. Like, if I own you, I can demand something from you. Ownership can lead to domination, even abuse and exploitation. It's like, if something is mine, I can do whatever the hell I want with it. I can give them any orders I want. I can control them, their thoughts, their wishes, their actions. I will decide what they eat, how they walk, sit, stand up. I can shout at them. I can hit them. I can kick them out of the house. I can make them salute me if I want. So, history of child abuse in humanity is actually horrifying. Children sacrificed, turned into human slaves, beaten to deformity or death, sexually harassed, experimented with in science, etc. Remember, I'm not saying every parent who feels ownership does all that. What I'm saying is, those who do those things, in their mind, they usually have strong ideas of ownership to justify these bad actions, among other bad ideas, of course. So this mindset of parents owning their child has led to tremendous sufferings, not just for the child, but also the whole family, because when children suffer in a family, the family can't be happy. Let me quickly just define those two terms, ownership and entitlement. Ownership means right to possess something or someone, like their life belongs to you first and their existence has your share in it, right? And entitlement means right to receive something from the child in the form of their time, money, or efforts, like you owe me something. Now let's get to the part, where is this mindset of ownership and entitlement coming from? 4 big reasons why parents end up feeling ownership and entitlement. Like first, like I discussed earlier, I gave you birth, you are here because of me, so I own you, right? Second, I provide for you. You are now breathing because of me. I am feeding you, keeping you alive, putting roof over your head, so you owe me something too. Third, I am making so many personal sacrifices. Again, since providing for a child is not just a benefit to the child's existence, it often comes at a personal cost to the parent as well. Parents have to let go of so many of their own desires. They have to give up on their leisure time. They have to spend a lot of money, solve so many extra problems at home. It's all a lot. So this sacrifice again makes them entitled. We do so much for you. Can't you even do that for me? And fourth is simply the privilege of custody and authority of decision making, that is, leaking into the mindset of ownership. I use 2 words, custody and authority. What do I mean by them? So parents have the custody over the child until they are adults. So the child has to live under their roof. That's custody. Also, parents have authority. That is, parents get to make all the big and small decisions in a child's life, at least in early years. And that's a lot of authority. So this custody and authority is a power that they have over the child, and this power can corrupt. This power can make parents feel like, again, they have unlimited control and they just own the child. I'm going to now tell you how all 4 of those things are actually problematic. And there is a much more rational way of looking at all those things. So I'm going to go one by one. The first one was giving birth. Like, I gave you birth, so I own you. Feeling a sense of ownership because you gave birth is actually really bizarre, because parents make it sound like that they did a huge favor to the child, when that's not true at all. You did it because you wanted a family. You thought having a child would add something to your life. You wanted a really happy ever after family, a white picket fence. Or maybe you didn't. Maybe you simply had children to shut your mother-in-law up. She was constantly nagging you, give me a grandchild, I need a toy to play with, I'll die without seeing the face of my grandchild. You were sick of it and you were feeling guilty, and then you're like, okay, let's produce a baby. Or you just had the child out of anticipated FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. Like you felt, everyone's gonna have kids, I don't wanna be left out. I also wanna belong to this society. I also want to be normal. I also want to go to parties where my kids play with other kids and it's all going to be great, right? Or last, maybe you just had a baby out of an accident. Completely unplanned. You found out one day that the wife is pregnant and then you were like, let's keep it. So whatever your reasons were, they were your reasons, your realities. It has nothing to do with the child. Child never came to you, pulled on your trousers and said, Papa, Mummy, please give me birth. I am dying to be born. See my wordplay there, dying to be born? I can't wait to exist, Papa, Mummy, please do something and bring me into this world. I'll owe you big time. Nope, that never happened. You gave birth for your personal reasons. This cannot ever be a reason to show any kind of ownership or entitlement on the child. Zero. Yes, some days when the child feels good about their life, they may feel thankful towards you. They may get emotional one day. I'm here because of my mom and dad. I owe them everything, but they may not say that either. Again, it's the child's business whether they feel thankful to you or not. Core idea is you can't demand anything. You can't claim any entitlement because of giving birth. Okay. Second one was you providing for them and then you feel a sense of entitlement. Like I just discussed, you gave birth for your personal reasons. You are essentially using the child to make your own life better. Now, taking care of that helpless child is your fundamental duty. You owe them survival, basic needs, love, and a good environment. So whatever you provide for them was already due. It's not a favor. You're actually paying a favor back. If you didn't provide for them, it would be abuse. It would be a crime against humanity. So when you give your child food, clothing, shelter, you're not doing anyone any favor. You're simply saving yourself from being a criminal in the eyes of the society. That's one way to look at it, right? Third one is closely related, making sacrifices for them, right? Many parents think that because I'm making so many personal sacrifices, I can now demand something back. See, sacrifice was always part of the equation of parenting. When a parent brings a child into this world, they cannot continue to think just about themselves. Their own needs have to take a back seat in many areas. It just comes with the territory. In fact, if you don't make a sacrifice, that would be irresponsible. Putting the child's needs first is the most logical thing to do. You can't continue to wake up late, give all your time to friends, spend all your money buying clothes, listening to loud music when the child is sleeping, travel whenever you want. Many parents get shocked at how difficult it can be to raise a child. Again, you were shocked because of your ignorance. This is not the child's fault. You should have done your homework before producing a baby. You didn't. That's on you. So don't go trying to make it even by making demands from the child now. The child doesn't owe you anything. That's why I often tell people, if you don't have means to provide for a child, or if you're not ready to make sacrifices for the child, then just don't have kids. You're not prepared or cut out for the job. And it's not a bad thing. You want an easier and fun life without children, go right ahead. Nothing wrong in it. You can live a very noble life even without making a single sacrifice for your child or for anybody. But then just don't have children because you can't have everything. If you do have a child, remember that you've committed to making sacrifices. So make sacrifices wherever necessary and don't brag about it, or at least don't feel that the child should be indebted to you. By the way, even if you go out of your way to do extra things for your child, which is not even expected of you, again, it's your personal desire to want to become the best mother in the country or best father in the country. Don't put it on your child. If you choose to make extra sacrifices, if you choose to become a super parent, it is a noble thing to do, no doubt, but it's still your choice and you still don't get to demand anything. Okay, just be clear about that. Fourth one and the last one was about custody and authority to make decisions. Now, remember this, once you bring a child into this world, the child is a human first and then your child. Please remember this. They belong to the human race first, then they belong to the Sharma, Khan, Smith, Singh family. Okay? So the human race, the society is actually giving you custody and authority so that you can raise your child well. But if you abuse your power, if you endanger the child's well-being, the society can actually take away that privilege from you. If you can't provide for the child's basic needs, or you become a drug addict and the house isn't safe for the child, or you directly abuse the child, the authorities can take your child away from you. Hence, when you're given the custody of the child for 18 years, it's not ownership. It's the society, the human race giving you a job to take care of the child. You should be very clear about what that authority means. Your authority means you have power over what the child eats, drinks, wears, does. Yes, you make decisions on the child's behalf, and you have the right to give them some instructions too. You have the right to ask them to do things, not do things. Now, this is a lot of power you have, and society allows you this power temporarily, but don't let this power get to your head. This power again has to be used to serve the child. In that sense, when you raise your child well, you are just a public servant. You're doing a service to the human race by producing a good creature. So all the power that you enjoy over the child ultimately has to be used and justified in terms of child's well-being and growth. There's no place for your personal ego and satisfaction here. It is wrong if you just start enjoying giving orders or controlling your child. You have to use your custody and authority judiciously and give the child back to the human race safe and sound. The child may be living under your roof. The child may have to follow your commands temporarily, but the child is not your property. What this means is, whenever your wishes, your authority, your commands, they come in conflict with child's well-being, you have to back down. For example, if you think that the child should become a doctor, but the child is inclined towards being a pilot, then your wishes have to be sidelined. Or let's say if you tell the child, you have to do homework like I ask you to do. Do math first, English second. But the child likes to do English first and math second. Now, unless you can give really good reasons for doing math first, you don't have the right to decide how the child does their homework. You can't just say, I'm the dad, you have to follow me no matter what. This kind of dictatorship is unethical and irrational, and usually arises from a sense of ownership, and you must let it go. You are always answerable for your decisions. You must always have good reasons behind any use of authority. Don't try to be a dictator. You are a servant of human race. You own nothing about your child, nothing. You are here to serve your child, not the other way around. So someone may ask, so all of this for nothing then? We get nothing? So the good news is, if you do your job of parenting well, you won't need to be entitled or make demands. Children would want to do things for you when they grow up. You won't need to claim it. So do your work right and have patience. It's like the thing written in Gita, right? Karm karo, phal ki chinta mat karo. You serve your children well today, they will voluntarily, most likely serve you well later on. Shridhar LifeSchool is a team of psychologists who specialize in counseling. We offer one-on-one counseling for individuals, couples, parents and their children. To book sessions, go to our website shridharlifeschool.com. As you can see, I am giving these talks in live online events where anyone can join. If you also wish to attend, it's very simple. Go to our website page shridharlifeschool.com/events. Just join our email list and our Telegram channel. We will keep you updated.